Hey everyone, it's Sabrina. Happy New Year. I hope you guys are enjoying the start to your new year, and I can't believe we're already done with the first week of the new year. That's amazing. I thought it would be fun to go through my Project Life albums and just kind of show you what I've done through the years, similar to what we did with my December daily albums and getting ideas. But for this one, I just wanted to talk about Project Life and that I have loved it since the beginning. When Becky Higgins came out with that Document 365 kit, do you remember that? That was 2009, I believe. And so I have documented Project Life since the beginning. Now, am I always consistent with finishing my albums? No, I am not, but that's okay. And this year, I'm hoping that I can maybe finish a few and also just decide if I want to let some go. I have my Project Life album stored in two main spots. One's right here in this bookcase, and then another is behind me, and the in progress ones are over there. So 3 different spots, and I'll show you all of those different spots in just a little bit. And then we'll come back to my desk and I will show you a peek inside each of the albums, even if my earlier ones are kind of embarrassing because I just slapped everything together and it was probably a hot mess. So we shall look inside and have fun. The other thing I've really enjoyed doing over the years with Project Life is experimenting with size, format, how I do things. I know for the first 4 years, so 2009 through 2012, I did 12 by 12 album. And then in 2013, I switched over to digital. And I did digital for several years. I don't think that I have printed all of the albums for those years. So those are kind of the lost years, and I really do need to figure out if I have printed them or if I have not. I know in 2016, I switched to the Project Life app and I printed a lot of those pages, but I don't think I finished printing all of them. And then in 2018, I went back into making physical albums and I started with 8.5 by 11. So it's been a lot of fun to just change up my album size and do what I want, right? That's the intention with when we're creating, we do what works for us. So I am excited to share with you all my albums and take a walk down memory lane and also just kind of share what size I'm gonna do this year. So let's go take a look and I hope you guys enjoy. This is the main spot where I keep the Project Life albums, or I guess I should say the albums from the beginning of my physical scrapbooking and when I started documenting our lives. So the black polka dot is 2009, and then it goes from there, 2010, 11, and 12. I think 12 actually, the blue ones right here, 2012 got a little out of hand, and I think I wound up with multiple volumes, at least 3, if not 4. And then the rest of these albums are based off of Stacy Julian's cataloging of your scrapbook pages. So like the people we love, places we go, things we do. There's 4 categories. I can't think of them, but I use red, green, and then blue and brown are over on a different bookcase. But these are the start of my Project Life. So I will now show you the other 2 spots where I have Project Life albums. So I don't have a large space for my Project Life albums, so that is why they get spread out in different spots. So over here, it starts with 2018, and this goes all the way to June, I believe. I think it's June, but we're gonna take a look at my desk. So in 2018, I tried 8.5 by 11 and I really enjoyed it. And then I decided, well, for the rest of the year, I'm gonna do 6 by 8, and I never finished that. You'll see that at my desk too. And then in 2019, I did 9 by 12, and I believe I finished the year. And these are the 2 albums. Yes, this is volume 2, but I am terrible at labeling the spines. In 2020, I tried some memory planner pages from Shannon Pages to document my weeks, and I absolutely loved them, but there was a lot of like behind the scenes work with the digitals, and I probably got really carried away with making the pages. A lot of these probably have process videos on my channel somewhere. The 2018 ones are super old videos, so I don't know if they are great quality or what they are, but they're very old. And let's see, the next one would be 2020. This is probably my least favorite design or format that I did, and that is the storyline chapters. I just found it very difficult to put together pages, and I don't know, maybe it was just the year, because I was also putting this together during 2020, so maybe that's why. But 2020 never got finished. And then down below here, I have 3 6x12 albums, and I loved 6x12 size. I really loved it. I found it to be very versatile and easy to put together pages. And I'll show you just a sample of those books when we get to my desk. And then over here is the Week in the Life albums that I have, and I got better about putting spines on here, but I'm behind on putting together the albums, obviously, because you don't see 2020, 21, 22, and 23. So that's okay to just be a little bit behind on putting together projects. So let's go take a look at the last spot where I have my albums. Over here is the last place where I keep Project Life albums, and it's more of the in-progress albums that I am hoping to finish. I have 6x12 right here, and I believe this is for 2022, and then a spare album in case I need it, and my passion planner for 2022, so that way it can help me. And then I have summer of 2020 in the storyline chapters, and I'll show you a peek at that as well. And then this is the 2018 album that has not been completed. So really at this point, it's a matter of, do I want to finish these or just let some of these go? And I don't know. I just have a really hard time letting these go, friends. I just do. So I don't know if I'm the only one. All right, let's go to my desk and take a look at some albums and also the unfinished ones. Okay, friends. Woo, this album is massive, and I can already tell you, I took a little peek in here. It's sad to say, but a lot of the pieces, the adhesive is not working anymore, so I am gonna probably put this on my summer project list and maybe just take a picture of these layouts and then get rid of it. So I know that's controversial for a lot of scrapbookers, but I would be okay with that, because then I would know that if I took a picture, it would be preserved. And especially if I go through persnickety prints, 12x12, it would be preserved, and I could even put it in a bound book. So when 2009 started, I was 6 months pregnant with my son, and I wanted to use, I think it's a Fancy Pants Designs collection. So man, it's just funny to look back, but I'm so glad that I documented all these little moments. But I would definitely be okay with taking a photo and then just throwing this away, because a lot of these aren't great quality pictures, and they're, I don't know, I just would be totally okay with that. This spread is when my son arrived, and then like the first week with my son. So great to look back. So that was 2009. And it was a lot of fun to dive into this project as I had a newborn. For 2010, I started off doing monthly collages. And I think, honestly, the reason that I did these, let me adjust just a little bit. Okay. Honestly, the reason I did these is because I played a lot of challenges online, keeping me busy while I had a newborn, and you could earn points for doing certain things on your layout. So I know that I earned a lot of points by making a lot of photos and using a lot of different products. So this page also, I would not mind like trying to put it back together and then taking a 12 by 12, because you can see it's kind of falling apart already, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. And then I did the same for February and also March. But then I think I got a kit for Project Life, and then I just did the basic format with a photo and a card to do the journaling. And look at all those rounded corners. Oh my goodness. So there's lots of great photos in here, and the second volume is more of the same, just a card, story, and a photo. Very simple. For 2012, I went all in. Let me tell you guys, I had a 3-year-old and we were doing lots of things to keep him busy, parks and play dates and adventures, and I did 3 massive heavy volumes for 2012, and of course used the Project Life kit. And I even did an opening page, which I hadn't done before. I'm not sure where 2011 went. I will have to go figure out where 2011 went, because I'm pretty sure that I did do 2011, but I just have to find it. I also discovered digital products, and so you can see here I did a digital stamp up there. I also discovered collages. So there is a lot going on all of these pages. And I decided to do inserts, multiple inserts. And I even saved some artwork and some tickets. So lots and lots of memories in here, and I love it. It's definitely action-packed here for 2012, and it was definitely a big year with my son being a toddler and just running around. So there's 3 volumes for 2012, and like I said, 2013 through 2016 I did digital, and I honestly have to go back and figure out what I did with each of those volumes. Moving into 2013, I did digital. I think I said at the beginning that I didn't know where this was or if I had printed this year. Turns out it was just in my photo books and I just didn't look properly. But I did Project Life using digital elements and just had a lot of fun playing with digital and learning about digital as I made the pages. And of course, I was expecting my daughter. So there's lots of baby pictures in there and bump pictures and sonograms. So it's lots of fun to look back at this album and see different stories that kind of made up our life. And I think this was like Mother's Day, so I did a collage for my son and a collage for my daughter. And there is a second volume, which covers July through December. And so just a little flip through and the arrival of my daughter and my son going back to preschool. So lots of fun looking back. 2016 is when I tried out the Project Life app. I don't think that I have finished printing, because with the app, I thought to myself, hey, I can just document everything and some more. So there is a lot of pages. And I started off with New Year's, and I printed these at 8x8 through Persnickety. And I loved making them. It was super easy to make them. I had 2 very active kiddos, so that's why there's more stories. Zoom this in down just a little bit. I know there's a glare on the page protectors. I'm sorry about that. So you can see evening snuggles. This was a blast to make. I just need to, like I said, finish printing. So much fun. Even though I kind of goofed on the collages and made the writing a little bit too small. As you can see, it's microscopic, but that's okay. I didn't know it at the time when I was making these pages. So this was super fun to make. The St. Patrick's Day, it was like 4 total pages. Totally in the season of life where like we just celebrate everything. Even got some zoo pages. So a lot of fun. And I just, like I said, I gotta print everything that I have not printed yet. For 2017, I remembered that I tried out memory keeping in a planner. Happy Planner was very big and I wanted to try it out. That type of memory keeping was so difficult. I'll go grab it. I was gonna do 2018, but I'll grab 2017. I don't even know if I finished this album, but because I wound up doing lots of inserts and just making it probably more complicated than it needed to be. But I enjoyed putting it together. It was just a lot of work for me to format all the photos to fit. Maybe that's why. And like I said, I always wanted to add inserts to remember like special things like the pumpkin patch or working with Opa. I just don't think that I finished down in November and December because I wound up with so many inserts, you know, just a lot of inserts and just, you know, printing my photos towards the end through persnickety. Yeah, I didn't finish over here, but I think I have most of the photos placed. I just didn't do any journaling, which for December is fine because I have a December daily. So that's totally okay. But that was 2017. Okay, 2018. I decided to try 8.5 by 11. I don't know what prompted me to be like, hey, let's try a new size. But I will emphasize again that I love trying new sizes, and it's been a lot of fun through the years to try these different sizes. I will say that when I was getting ready to do this video and thinking about the different sizes, this one was so much fun. I just really remember having a lot of fun putting this together despite having to reconfigure journaling cards and printing my photos at weird sizes. It was a lot of fun to make this. So I was on the LE Studio creative team. So I started off with a page with their products, and I did family photos and then some silly ones. And then I just used a bunch of their black and white products and a color cast designs piece right here. So these are 2.5 by 3.5. And so of course you have to cut the journaling cards down. This is also a weird size. It's, I think, I want to say 5.5. Let's see, 5.5 by 3.5. So it takes some reconfiguring, that's for sure. But I really enjoyed it using LE Studio. I wound up using some digitals with In a Creative Bubble, and then also Ali Edwards, more In a Creative Bubble. So just finding different ways to use my supplies in this unique format. There's even a beach page, and I glued the acrylics on top of the page protectors instead, just to do something a little different. This one was a really fun one to put together, again, in a creative bubble, doing all about spring and adding in some photos. And then week 16, Ali Edwards. This one, like I said, goes all the way up to summer. And I make a spread for Project Life that's about week in the life. I always stick to black and white and just keep it very simple. So very simple, it's just the photos. And then the end page right here is talking about ending in summer. So I think this is the end of June. And so I had hoped to make a summer album, but I never did, and that's okay. The next step was to do a 6x8, and I'll show you that in a second. So that is 2018. 2019, I went bigger and I went with 9 by 12. And again, I think I was still on the Ellie Studio creative team. I think, or no, actually this was the year that I was on the creative team. Back in 2018, I was just using their products. I think that's what it was. So I did the same thing with the family pictures and then our favorites, and then just used black and white photos. So again, it's going to be lots of Ellie Studio since I was actually on the creative team for this particular year. And then I also did Ellie Edwards, a lot of digitals, because that just made it easier. More Ellie Studio. I think there's a lot of process videos on my channel for this particular year. So lots of fun putting together this album. So the entire year is done in 9 by 12 and it is completed. So that's always a good feeling, right? In 2020, I decided to try something new with memory planner pages. And so I started off with this 8.5 by 11 page protector. And I thought I was going to do a mix of pages like I did in 2018, but I just decided to go with the planner pages from Shannon Pages and just completely try something new. So I loved doing this, but again, I think I may have already said this. I just made it a little complicated, but I absolutely loved it. It was like a labor of love to put together the digital spreads, find the pieces, and then print everything and put it together. So I think the whole album is Ellie Edwards and just using up my story kits and changing the colors. Like I think this one is from the U story kit, and so I just made sure everything matched. This one was a lot of fun because I pulled in all the reds and the pinks, or I changed the colors to make it work for me, and then used a bunch of color cast designs pieces. So, and then back in March, we get into the lockdown time and we got mail. So I just clipped that to the spread, but this is the Wii kit and I just loved putting these together. Like I said, I wound up taking an Ellie Edwards class. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was, hybrid play or something like that, but it was really great to do this class right in the kind of the middle of, or the start of 2020. So, and then I wrap up the album with the end of April. So after this, I did not finish anything for 2020. I have things started and I'll show you that in a second. But the next thing I'm going to show you is 2021, which is 6 by 12. 2021, starting off again with just the neutrals, blacks and grays. And I started off with using some Everyday Explorers stamps and just making a completely digital page. But I also wanted to do Ellie Edwards. So I think I did a mix of both. And I got all my photos printed through Persnickety. And I even did lots of inserts, usually with Everyday Explorers. So that way I could, you know, tell the full story of everything that was going on. And then 6 by 12 scrapbook pages, Outdoor Adventures. And that's the end of February, and this is March. This one was a special one because I used the Hope kit and the kids were finally able to go back to school part-time. And then my son's birthday, and that ends the first volume. And I have 2 more volumes, of course, and then I move on to 2022 where I continued 6 by 12. Okay, 2020 only has 1 volume done. I still have most or parts of June to do and then through the rest of the year. And I really like and tend to prefer lately doing spreads when it corresponds to the month, if that makes sense. So like the August spreads, I would do in August or close to August. So my opening page, this time I added in some blue and some facts about us and kind of our jobs. I used Ellie Edwards. Sometimes I used Everyday Explorers for the ending and the opening page. more 6x12 inserts. And then like we went on break, so I did some collages using Shannon pages, stretching my supplies and using stamps. This was the year that I really felt like I used my supplies a lot, especially when I got them right away. So I love Project Life. It's just the best. It's just the best way to document like all the stories, document your life and cover like a wide range of topics. And for me too, with kids, it's so nice to just have these stories in here, because if I don't get to kids albums, that's okay, because I have the family albums. And so this is the end page for May, and then we move into June. So a lot of fun. Like I said a while ago, these 6x12 pages are super easy to come together. And the only reason I'm not doing more 6x12 is just because I want to have a little bit more room when I'm doing Project Life, since I tend to not be able to narrow down my photos as well as I'd like. The last album is, of course, 2023, and you guys saw all of these process videos and even the walkthrough on my channel, but I still wanted to share it with you. It is the bound album that I made to compile January through, I think it was March. So last year I took an approach of mainly stories instead of doing weekly or monthly. So like I documented the 1st of January and what we did. And then I did an everyday page with the open story kit using the black labels and a laminate page. And then I had an insert for TV there. And then opening up into February, another everyday page. This one mainly focused on different themes of love, since it was February. And so that's just how I did this project, or started 2023. I think I will continue in some sort of format for 2023 like this. I just will probably start it later in the year, and start with April and then move forward, and probably do another bound book. I haven't quite decided yet. I know I could do 6x8, because I like the idea of using page protectors, but you cannot punch page protectors with a cinch machine. So that is kind of tricky. And this is a project I did for the Story Kit classroom. And so it was just an amazing way to look at our life and our photos in a different way. So that is 2023, and I will definitely continue this and finish 2023. I just have to decide if I'm going to do it in a bound book or if I'm going to just switch completely to 6x8. Okay, these are the project lives that I need to finish, and I guess it's not as much as I thought. I did look up the project life that I didn't print, and I did notice that 2019 is not printed, but I stopped at week 22. So I might just do a simple photo book for the rest of the year. Just simple photos, I mean. 2015, it is completed, but it is not printed. And then 2016, I showed you, it's only like half printed. So it's not as bad as I thought, which is great. So 2018, I thought, hey, let's do a summer album. And then, hey, let's just do the rest of the year in a 6x8. But you can see August through December is gigantic. And I have most of the pieces in here. I just have not finished it. I did August with Ellie's Studio. And then I wrapped it up. And then I decided to do September in Ali Edwards. And so I have the pieces laid out. I have the photos. It's just a matter of adding in the journaling. Then in October, I switched back to Ellie's Studio. So you can see here, I'm just doing a pattern. I'm just doing a pattern of the two different products. And it's just different little stories from throughout the month. And I just stuffed in the pieces, and like I said, I just have to do journaling. In November, went back to Ali Edwards. and I did a lot more stamping and prep work. So there's more, yeah, more stamping, definitely more stamping. And again, just filling in the information. And actually this does not go through December because I have, you know, December daily. So I actually end with, I ended with the kids picking their ornaments. And so that's probably how I will leave that album. But I think I'd want to finish this one. Definitely finish this one. I have everything there, like I said. 2020, this is more of like, I think this covers summer of 2020. So I think I have mostly June done. I just have to get into July. July is not quite done. I did glue everything down a while back, months ago probably, but the pieces are there, photos are there. Some pages are done, and then I have some things like mapped out, like I know what I'm gonna do, and I wrote down notes. So this one I could probably finish maybe in the summer, but after that I think I would call 2020 done and just do a photo book, just like I said I would do for 2014 that's not quite finished. Okay, that was a look at all my albums. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing these with you, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. So the size that I'm gonna do this year is 8.5 by 11. I'm nervous only because the formatting of the photos is always tricky. Like if I wanna use the page protectors, I have to format everything myself, and it's not traditional sizes. And same thing with the journaling cards. But I think I can do it, because I also love the fact that you can do an 8.5 by 11 full page spread in here. You could also do a 6 by 8 spread in here as well. And I just feel like there is so much versatility. And when I was going back through my albums, this album made me the most happy. Like it just made me so happy to do this size, put together this album. And so I don't know, something about 8.5 by 11 just made me so excited. So I'm gonna be doing this size, and I don't know if I'm gonna stick to weekly or what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go with the flow as far as putting together an album. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing a walk through my albums, and I hope it inspires you. And I'd love to know in the comment section what size you guys are doing for Project Life. And I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a wonderful day.